Okay, time to add our portal here to our Neon City. We have all our layers over here. So this is our Neon City. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually grab them all and I'm going to group them. So I shift select and okay, let's just drag them into. Okay, it's not going to let me for, because I have this one locked. There we go. Alright, so now let's shift click, group those. Okay, so this is Neon City. That way you don't get confused with all your layers. Alright, create a new layer. So we got a new layer right there. We are going to take our rectangle tool. Okay, so our rectangle tool, we are going to remove this fill. We don't want any fill, so I click fill, take it out, and we're going to make this a shape. Okay, it might be on path. Make it a shape. No fill, and our stroke will be a. It can be any color. We'll go with this pink for now. We'll go with this pink for now, and then it needs to be a solid line, as you can see there. Okay, so we'll double click, and it allows us to choose a size, or you can make a size like that. Click and drag. Okay, either way is perfectly fine. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to change my color. I'm going to make it to D40243. Okay, D40243. Click OK. And then I'm going to change, so you have your properties over here. I'm going to change this, the stroke size, to 30 pixels. So there we have our stroke. Okay, so I change the size, I change the color, like that, or click over there, and the color is D40243. Click OK. So there's that red. And then you need to center the stroke. So right here, this centers the stroke through that blue line. That's important. Make sure you do that. Okay. Now we are going to click Control J, and we duplicate that layer. Okay. This one we're going to change this color to FFFBCB, to a yellow. Okay. And we're going to change the stroke size to about 7 pixels. Okay, so it's a thin yellow line, and then we have the red line. So go ahead and name this yellow stroke, and this is pink stroke. There you go. Okay, so you got those two. Now we're going to duplicate the pink stroke twice. So Command or Control J twice, and we will, with this bottom pink layer, we're going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, convert it to a smart object. We're going to make that 35. Okay, so there's our bottom one. Now we're going to come up a stroke. We're going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. This time, this time we're going to, again, convert to a smart object. Instead of 35, we're going to make it 25. All right, there's 25. And we'll do the same thing to this other pink layer, Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, convert it to a smart object, and OK. So now we've got a nice glowing, there's not a hard line there. All right. Now for this bottom pink layer, we're going to change the mode to screen. The next one up, we are going to change it to soft light. Okay, and then this last one we keep the same. Now our yellow, we're going to go ahead and change it to soft light. Okay, Something happened. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. And we are going to Command or Control J 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so we have 5 there. And you can see now that yellow is starting to be nice and vibrant. The top one, we're going to change this from soft light to linear dodge, and we're going to bump it down to about 80%. Okay. Now we're going to select all the yellow strokes. So hold down Shift, click the top one, and then click the bottom one, and do Control or Command T. Right click within that square and say Perspective. We're going to pinch this left side down. The whole point of this is to make it look like it is more coming at us. There we go. All right, press Enter. All right. Yes. All right. Now I'm going to Command or Control T. I want to actually shrink this up a little bit like that so it appears more like you're coming through it. And again, Enter. And so there you have that one. Now, we need to do the same thing for the pink. But you're going to have to do it a little different because it's not going to quite work the same because of the glow and everything like that. So select all 3. Command or Control T. Click OK. Right click, Perspective. Now this is not going to work quite the same. Alright, so just be aware we're going to have to be a little bit more a little less predictable on this. So see, it's not going to let us do that there. Alright. There we go. Okay. So I've gotten kind of that outer edge. We can come back in here to scale and do that right there. This is where, right click, Perspective again. Let's see if it will let us. You have to play a little bit. There, it's starting to look good or better. All right. Perspective. Shift this back down. I'm going to try Distort. Let's go Distort here. Goal here is just to keep the pink very much around the yellow line. Retransform. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so you can see you'll have to manipulate and play with that some. Okay, so we have that. Those are that's the outer and the inner part. Now we need to flatten this inner part out. I really am going to want that pink stroke. I'm going to have to fix the pink stroke later if we have time. Alright, so I'm going to come down here to the bottom, go to our Neon City, and we are going to do a curved adjustment. Okay, but before we do that, I'm going to take a rectangular, or actually I'm going to take my polygonal lasso tool. I'm going to make a selection right here within this yellow, and there, and there. Okay, then we're going to take our curves adjustment. You can see it's made a mask already, and we want to kind of flatten this out. Something like that. Right, perfect right there. All right, you can see that. And now we're going to come back up to the top, and we are going to make some particles. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to choose the color D3296E. Alright, so I've got a new color. I'm going to take a particle brush, which is this one. I like this one. But you can pick any particle brush you have. We're going to adjust the size, and under the brush settings, we're going to go shape dynamics, and we are going to change the shape, shape and angle. So I'm going to change the angle and emit size. There we go. All right, let's bump them both up to 100% just to see what we do there. And then we're going to create a new layer. And we're going to add some particles. Well, that's going to be too big. But that fits really well right there. That's going to fit really nicely there. And we're going to fit this one right there. And you're just going to play right along with this and just see really where these should go. Different particle brushes are going to give you a different look. So you just play around and see which one you like. And there we go. All right, so there's our particle brush. And now, once you're done, Command or Control J twice. The bottom one, we're going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. This time we only want a blur of 1. Okay, do the same thing with the next particle layer up. And then our top particle layer, we're going to go Control or Command U. We're going to bump the lightness all the way to the right. And then we are going to change the mode to linear dodge. And then we are going to lower the opacity to 50%. All right, so that added our particles. All right, and all right, we're going to select this group of particles. All right, we are going to group it. Then we are going to go Command J. So we duplicate it, and then we will go Command or Control T, and then we are going to rotate it a little just to give some variation there. And before we do that, I'm going to so there is this little piece right here. This allows us to change the point of pivot. So now you can see it's pivoting from that right rather than the center. Okay. And there we go. That looks pretty cool right there. Okay. So we got some nice distribution there. And then I'm going to right click, or I'm going to go Command J, I'm going to right click, I'm going to flip it vertical as well, so it throws off the repeating factor there. And then you can also right click and you can say distort, and we can make them come out a little bit more like that. So we can really change the look of this any way we want to. Nice. There it is. Okay, so now everything's getting sucked out, and there we go. All right, so that is our portal. All right, there's a little more work to do, but we'll get to that.